Hey y'all, we're out here in Mason, Texas at Wolf Caves Off-Road Park. It's one of the two granite dome mini Moabs here in the Texas Hill Country. And we brought the Offroad Design truck so that I could, quite frankly, be the student driver and learn how to operate a manual out here on the rocks. It was kind of terrifying. The only time that I've actually run that thing up some sort of incline was when we put it on the trailer.
It was the dead middle of June and hotter than a match head, but Kurt and I headed south to the Granite Hills anyway, and because it was so hot, we kind of had the place to ourselves.
I'm glad we did some wheeling yesterday because I now have a pretty good feel for how this thing operates in low. Most of the trails out here are really just lines cut through a big rock garden, right? So there's a lot of choose your own adventure, and that's what we did. We went straight for the big rocks. And a trail that we'd run in the Suburban before that was tight, but since the last time I ran it, a big rock has moved, like a man-sized rock. And it made things pretty tight. So this truck does a really good job in double low, right? That's 205 low and that's Magnum low, and then first gear in the NV4500. That's the most you're gonna get to that thing behaving like an automatic, because there's so much torque coming from the big block that it continues to push the truck forward as if it's an automatic, right? You still have to kind of monitor the clutch pedal, but it climbs very easily. And we were able to use then the boat side to pivot, because the other side of the truck still has traction. It's like driving a skid steer at that point. You're able to rotate the truck and then go up the next rock. And that is the theme throughout the whole day, is just that this thing has lots and lots of control.
This trip was less about running hard trails than it was about building up a comfort level on a variety of obstacles in a very capable adventure rig that admittedly is super different from the Suburban.
There's no way I would have ever done that in the Suburban. It just wouldn't fit. This truck is actually really easy to drive. I drove 1,300 miles with my dad, but that is not trail driving. It is a little bit of a cheat code, but double low and the NV4500 in first, like for a guy that's not super finessey with the clutch in what I'll just call normal low, like the doubler sure does help. And the NV4500 with 5 whatever to 1 makes it pretty easy. Oh, hey, free vice grips on the trail. Oh yeah, these are good.
In Arizona, we're going to run several arroyo-type trails with waterfalls at least twice as tall as this mound of granite. The truck has about a 115-inch wheelbase and sits relatively low for running 40-inch tires. The front suspension has 12 inches of travel, while the rear maxes out closer to 18 or 19 when the shackles are fully dropped. When you're tiptoeing through the rocks, the rear suspension is doing a lot of work.
This is going to take some getting used to, but I've been working at it to try and figure out the right combinations of 205 low, Magnum low, and the 5-speed, the NV4500, right? So we have 20 different combinations of gearing. In fact, Steven has worked all those out right here on a handy little table.
Each of these are effective crawl ratios, which I think is really interesting because it means that you can put together multiple low range and transmission gear selections to achieve similar ratios. There's a lot of overlap in this. This is all truck nerd stuff, and I really dig it.
Walking around scouting, I found something. Kurt!
Yeah.
One more thing on the trail. This one's for you.
Oh, thank you. I needed to pick my nails today.
Is it still sharp?
Let's check the taste of the toothpick. Toothpick tastes good.
Oh, yeah. It tastes like Cooper's barbecue. One of the fun things that's come from wheeling somebody else's truck has been being able to call and tell that person that built it all the things that it's teaching me. Man, I tell you what, you weren't on the trip with me, but I kind of felt like you were there a little bit in the side seat. It was just me and Kurt, right? It was a quiet weekend at Wolf Caves. As soon as we hit the trail, man, I was the learning curve was vertical, right? And what a piece of equipment, man. And it's got a longer story than just the, here I am, and it's this build's 15th year. There's a longer story from when you guys started out, and I wanted you to unfold that.
Yeah, so basically the origin is we'd had a solid axle swap kit for a few years, something like that, and wanted to showcase that and build a new vehicle. From the previous ones, we knew we wanted a little bit more of a truck. My Blazer was basically a buggy at the point, and our cousin Willard truck was a big cab truck. So the single cab got the nod, and we actually found this truck from a buddy that had bought it from Snowmass Ski Area. So it was a fleet truck. One of the really cool things about it is you probably have one of the key tags.
Yeah.
Key tags are a brass circular tag, and it says, I think, 99 Chevy Trails. And it was their, Snowmass Ski Area's Trails division or whatever is who had the truck. One of the things that was really nice about this one is the front suspension was a bolt-on. And this is at a point where I didn't have guys in the shop that I could just give a link suspension project. For that to happen, it was going to be my dad and my brother and I working on that. We had a lot of stuff to do. So bolted brackets on, it made that really easy. It was stuff the guys in the shop could put on. It was stuff we'd been selling for a while. The steering system bolted on. It was all of our normal crossover steering parts. So that was really easy. The truck started with a doubler because the Magnum wasn't a thing yet.
This is all pre-Magnum days.
Yeah, so it had a 203 doubler in it to start with. Really, the big fabrication project was pretty much the bed and the cage. The cage is pretty integrated into the cab. We pulled the dash and built the cage in, and then it goes through the back wall of the cab into the bed structure. And the trail bed was a pretty big fab project, getting that together. The rear suspension is real simple. It's a set of our custom leaf springs and a set of traction bars. There's a lot of details in the truck that really set it apart and make it kind of special and make it work really well. But the bones of it are pretty simple when you get down to it. It's bolt-on leaf springs, front and rear, the transfer case system bolted in, the stock engine.
Yeah.
We've really done nothing to the engine.
Like, you can go to the parts store and say 99 K3500 X, Y, and Z and get everything for the engine, pretty much everything for the transmission, and then a lot of things for the rear axle and so on. Like, you can drive it a long distance, like my dad and I did. We drove it over 1,000 miles. Realistically,
that truck could do a lot of the same job with the stock transfer case that was in it. When you get down to it bones-wise, it has a transfer case system and a solid axle. That's the big stuff. And that does help emphasize how important all of the rest of the details are, because people get to that point, it's like, wow, that's a really built truck, but man, there's a bumper and a winch on the front of this thing, and the trail bed is a huge part of it. And the single cab and trail bed combo makes the truck super easy to drive in gnarly terrain.
Yeah, super nimble.
You really only have to get an obstacle past the doors. And as you can tell from the shape of the doors in the cab, even if it doesn't happen all the time, it happens enough of the time. But you can rub a tree down the entire back end of the truck and it doesn't care.
Look, I know it's not my truck, but I have like this whole like post-traumatic stress of always thinking about that with the Suburban, like thinking about rubbing a tree all the way down. And so that's always on my mind. There's a lot of glass and metal behind me, and it was pretty refreshing not to be as nearly as concerned as I otherwise would be.
Well, that's one of the sort of hidden secrets with all of our vehicle projects is the trucks make us look pretty darn good.
Yeah.
And it is maxing out all the hardware. And that's really where all of this started, is we were taking bigger trucks into places where smaller vehicles went, and we needed to make sure we had all of the tools, all of the toys, all the equipment, and everything was put together really right.
I've got a couple of things to do on the truck. I do have all the brakes, so that's kind of what I'm working on next for that one, to get all that stuff together.
Yeah, and we'll continue making plans for the Powerstop trip and getting all those details hashed out too.
I'll put it on a trailer and we'll meet somewhere in Arizona for after SEMA. All right,
sounds good.
Take it easy.
All right.
The truck was built as a very capable adventure rig, but my favorite part by far When we wanted something cold to drink and a good burger in town, you just air up and unlock the hubs and, off you go. It's an easy day. Now, I've still got a good bit of prep ahead for a full week of seat time in Arizona. Thank y'all for watching, and until next time, take care.